Warning, the podcast you're about to hear has a unique, conservative perspective and may be politically incorrect, containing some controversy in its message. This episode may speak out against liberalism, socialism, the dark state, and religious organizations. It is possible that evil in politics, education, law, society, and religion will be discussed and exposed. However, we believe this podcast adds truth and value to a mature, disenfranchised audience who may be tired of apostate religions and wicked world systems. Listeners who are easily offended, overly sensitive, or have progressive leanings sympathetic to the topics we expose should be forewarned not to listen any further. We thank both those who choose to listen as well as those who choose not to listen. You've been warned. And now, let us get on with the show.
Well, hello, everybody. Today is Freedom Friday, and today's date is September 22nd, 2017.
You know what that means, don't you, Ms. Kapow?
Yes, we're one day away from the end of the world, according to the YouTubers.
Yeah. Oh, and then we saw on the headlines yesterday, Christian numerologist.
Yes.
Christian numerologist says September 23rd, the world's going to end. Mm-hmm. Christian numerologist.
Yeah.
You might as well say Christian occultist, Christian witch.
Satanist. Yeah. Yeah, because that's
seriously
the equivalent of it.
So this will be the last Freedom Friday show you'll ever hear because tomorrow it's
going to be gone.
Over. Now, I had a question earlier from Ms. Kapow, and so I'm going to present it to you guys because maybe you can figure this out. If the world's going to end, and Jesus even said it was going to end.
Yeah.
According to one of the YouTube titles that we saw. We didn't actually watch it because, well, I don't have time. But the title was Jesus says the world's going to end September 23rd.
Yeah. I don't know what Bible he was listening to or reading, but...
Or what Jesus...
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been Jesus Garcia. But here's my question, and I presented this to Ms. Kapow. Here's my conundrum. Okay. I live here, I'm on Pacific time, right? Mm-hmm. So somewhere in the world tomorrow, well, let's see. How do I put this? Somewhere it's already going to be the 23rd while it's still the 22nd for me. Mm-hmm. So when is the end of the world? When is Jesus coming? Is he coming on their 23rd and my 22nd? Because if that's the case, that's just not fair. Because I'm expecting the 23rd, not 22nd. Right?
Yep.
Or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At some point, I mean, the whole globe can't be September 23rd. Somebody's going to be already in the 24th, and others are going to be lagging. And it's just...
Well, that's where the scripture, no one knows the day or the hour.
Oh, see, now you're confusing. You're letting facts, you're letting scriptural facts get in the way of a good story. Right? You're letting scriptural facts get in the way of a good Luciferian doctrine to get everybody all riled up over nothing.
Sorry. Oh, well.
Oh, my goodness. There's some crazy people out there, folks. Mm-hmm. You be not one of them.
Yep.
You be not one of them. And Ms. Kapow's going to open up with this wonderful scripture. Then we're going to get right on to this very positive news that we have.
Okay. I'm going to read from Jeremiah 51:12 through 18. And it says, "Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen and prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, Surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power, he hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding. When he utters his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings with rain, and brings forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish.
Wow. There's nothing in that scripture there about harp creating all of that, right? It's God who does it.
Yep.
It's God who does it. So, you're going to see a lot of, or read a lot of things, see a lot of things, and people grasping for answers. And this is, these hurricanes are man-made, No, they're not. It's not harp. Nope. Nope. Okay. Let's see, Ms. Kapow.
Let's see,
The world's still crazy. It's a little crazier than it was last week, and it continues to be so.
And it's going to get darker and darker.
It will continue to get darker and darker. I would say, 2017 has been an amazing year in darkness, increasing exponentially. Has it not?
Yep. Well, we listened to a YouTuber that was talking. It was filmed in 2014, and he was talking about all the things that were happening on the earth back then, which was a lot of stuff. And now we're here 3 years later, and we can see that the groanings of the earth and of the heavens and people in general have increased exponentially.
Yeah. There were bizarre things going on in 2014, certainly 3 years ago. 2015, last year, 2016 was weird, but 17, kicked it in high gear. And I'm talking, it's like here in America, right before the presidential elections, it's just started getting crazy, and it hasn't stopped. And it's crazy on the political front. It's crazy on the economic front. Folks, here in America, you got to know you're in a big bubble. It's about to burst at any point. We're really under a false system here. The Fed's keeping the rates low and stuff for this long. And then, of course, Earth, nature is just going crazy. Just going crazy.
And everything is increasing and intensifying.
It certainly is. And the demonization of some individuals, it's just more and more. You're reading more and more about it in the paper, and you could just imagine all the stuff that doesn't make, national news.
Well, it's interesting because they've legalized marijuana. Even the upstanding citizens are going for it because it's legal now.
Yeah.
So they won't be looked at as drug users.
No. Yeah, and a lot of people, here in Nevada, because it's legal, they're driving around stoned out of their brain.
Yeah. It used to be Prozac, but now it's
all these old hippies, they're all
weed and alcohol.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. So, I have a little head cold, so you can hear me being a little stuffy because I had a little head cold. But Ms. Kapow gave me some zinc.
I did.
Some zinc lozenges and some, what is that, emergency?
Emergency C?
Yeah, emergency
Vitamin
C. She shoved that down my gullet at the first sign.
Saying, you will take this.
Yeah, and some zinc lozenges. And, hey, I'm feeling much better.
Oh, good.
I don't know where I got the head cold from.
I have no idea. One day you were fine, and the very next day you're...
I think I got it in St. George, Utah.
That was me.
That was you. I think I got it in St. George, Utah. We went there last week, and we were shopping. And, you touch all those little terminals. And who knows what kind of germs are in those terminals. And then I have a bad habit of, I touch things, and then I touch my face. I was always like one of those dirty kids. Just touch my face, and, I put my fingers in my nose, and, just stick them in my mouth. I'm just, really nasty. And so as an adult, I had germs. Speaking of nasty people, this is
Disgusting people. They're
this
just
woman.
nasty.
This woman gets the Green Weenie Nasty Award of the week.
Oh, disgusting.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's a nice area. You know?
It was.
Yeah, it was. Colorado Springs. Okay, the police there, the Popo, are searching for a woman, not a dude, a woman who has been seen repeatedly pooping in a neighborhood.
I know. You're saying, what? Did we hear you right, Brother Kapow?
Uh-huh. She's pooping while she's out running. Yeah. She's exercising. And apparently she's getting her intestines, her bowels all worked up.
She eats a lot of bran.
And so she's just stopping in front of people's homes and
Defecating.
yeah. She's what Miss Kapow says, pinch a loaf.
I said that. I don't think so.
Oh, this
That is not my vocabulary.
that would be cute if you said that, though.
Oh, okay.
Kathy Budd said her kids saw this woman mid-squat and came running back in the house to tell her, Mommy, there's a lady taking a poop. So she says, I come outside and I'm like, are you serious? And she goes, are you really taking a poop right here in front of my kids? And so the runner looks at her and says, yeah, sorry. Yeah, there's a picture of her.
Yeah.
I don't know. She looks maybe in her 30s, 40s. I don't know.
I don't think she's in her 40s, but...
I mean, she's dressed reasonably,
Yeah.
like someone who's jogging. But she likes to take poops.
Yeah, in neighborhoods.
Yeah. So she's doing it all in her neighborhood at least once a week for the last 7 weeks. So the people in the neighborhood came together, and they do what people do best. They gave her a nickname, and they call her the Mad Pooper. Quote, unquote. Okay. 2 other times we've caught her. They caught her the other day. She changed up her time a little bit because she knew people were watching her. So it's like she's doing it on purpose. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now the Colorado Springs Popo are involved, and they're trying to catch her.
And the thing is that there's public restrooms nearby.
That's what they say.
So,
yeah.
There's really no excuse for
yeah.
this behavior.
They say there's restrooms, public restrooms, a block away. So they believe she's doing this intentionally. And even the police said that he's never seen such a thing. It's uncharted territory for me.
It's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's gross.
Now, on a spiritual level, I mean, not just to do this story just to be gross or to make fun of the Mad Pooper, but on a spiritual level, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very demonic.
What we have found out, and this is absolutely certain, absolutely truth here, but what we found out about demonic spirits, disembodied spirits, wicked spirits, earth spirits, whatever you want to call them, the evil here bound to the earth, what we found out about them is they're absolutely 100%
nasty.
Yes. Filthy. Anything that's filthy, they're involved in. So that's why they're involved in sodomy. That's nasty. They're involved in pedophilia. That's nasty. They're involved in bestiality. That's nasty. They're involved in public defecation. That's nasty. Anything that's filthy, nasty, blood, that kind of stuff, feces, it's demonic. Someone has that kind of drive to be involved in that kind of behavior, that's caused by disembodied spirits, earth spirits, wicked spirits. And more and more people are becoming what I call demonized, but they're being turned over to these things.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're saying that things are going to get darker.
Yeah, they're going to get darker and darker. Yeah, you can see more and more of this. And it's increasing quickly upon us. I just think we don't hear a lot of really what's going on because of the politics and all this stuff, which is really annoying. It gets so old because there's other things going on besides you know supporting or hating Trump. There's other things, honestly. Speaking of which, there's a witch. These witches that put hexes on Trump.
Yeah.
That's the other thing here in America, folks. It's the occult and witchcraft. It's more and more mainstream. The fact that this witch was on Tucker.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
The fact that she was on Fox News with Tucker Carlson shows you where we've come this year. This is a witch talking about her binding spells placed on Trump. So it's nothing that's hidden anymore or something that wouldn't get airtime. That's shameful. It's out there. Mm-hmm. And the more and more that you see this, and you see a nation like ours, and it's also globally, people turned over to witchcraft, the occult, turned over to Satan/Lucifer. Both the same. I love saying that because it just irritates the heck out of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Let me say it again. Lucifer is Satan. Lucifer is Satan. They're one and the same. Lucifer isn't the shiny god. That's the good god trying to save people, give you knowledge. Satan is just the bad karma, right? It's just Satan is just a symbol of evil, like the Church of Satan. They don't actually believe in a real Satan because it's just a symbol of evilness. But they call themselves the Church of Satan. But they're Luciferians, and it really irritates them and the devil when you say Lucifer, Satan, and the devil are all the same. Because they are. Mm-hmm. Ha! Now, this Luciferian Satan devil worshiper, she's a witch, a literal witch. And she's very humble, Miss Kapow. She's given herself a name. In her humility, she calls herself the Oracle of Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, that's humble.
Wow. It's a big area.
Yeah.
To be Oracle.
Yeah, it's a big area to be the Oracle. But she's the Oracle. So if you need something, some knowledge, go to the Oracle of Los Angeles. And she compared casting spells. The act of casting the spells is just like singing the national anthem.
Yeah, so she's an airhead as well.
Yeah, she's stupid. And casting spells is just like saluting the flag.
Yeah, nice. Wow.
It's the same thing. Yeah. She told Tucker that. So Tucker asked the sorceress, her name is Amanda Yates Garcia. Mm-hmm. And Tucker says why she chose to cast spells rather than use more typical forms of politicking. And the witch said that symbolic action is something that everybody participates in all the time. So you might think that doesn't really, I think what they meant to say is have any meaning. But if that were true, why would people care about whether or not people saluted the flag or sang the national anthem? Mm-hmm. So those things are symbolic. So she's saying that her witchcraft or hex casting is symbolic also.
Yep.
And she believes casting anti-Trump spells may galvanize people to resist President Trump. Resist. And that witches and other spellcasters do not see it as the sole form of action. She also participates in a monthly occult session to cast a binding spell on the Donald. And binding spells are symbolic actions used to harness the power of the imagination, she says, and achieve an intangible result.
Wow.
Now, that doesn't even make sense to me. Mm-mm. It really doesn't.
But in her world, it does.
Yeah. I mean, It's a symbolic action. Okay, understand that. And you harness the powers of imagination. That I don't understand. Why would I want to just harness the power of imagination to do that? And it achieves an intangible result. Don't you want a tangible result?
Mm-hmm. I don't even think she knows what she's talking about.
I think Amanda has what they call demonic confusion brain. Mm-hmm. DCB. She suffers from DCB, demonic confusion brain. Okay, Ms. Capel. I'm going to stop for a commercial break.
All right.
I shall be right back. And you also.
Kapow! You are listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network. Kapow stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Kapow is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks. FifthHookMedia.com has a selection of ebooks about spiritual warfare and Christian living. Visit FifthHookMedia.com. That's FIFTHOOK Media.com. Remember, that's FifthHookMedia.com. FIFTHOOK. Kapow!
What's up, yo? I like it. I'm done, yo.
Demons in My Marriage Bed from all online digital retailers, such as Amazon.com. Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare, changed the way my spouse and I conduct spiritual battle and has increased our alertness level to the tactics of Satan. Please do not be fooled that such things cannot happen to you. Rather, get prepared and become the spiritual warrior needed to overcome in these perilous times in which we all live.
We are back.
Hello.
Demons in My Marriage Bed, a true story of spiritual warfare. A book written by Miss Kapow and myself. When actually it was 5 years after our extreme demonization. We were, in fact, demonized. Mm-hmm. If you can believe that. Mm-hmm. So,
I believe it.
yeah, we were haunted people living a very haunted, surreal life, which made our house haunted and everything about us haunted. Yeah, true story. Nothing's embellished. Nothing needed to be. In fact, not all the stuff's in there. It couldn't be in there. There was so much that happened. But what's good about the book, it tells the story. It tells the story of what happened to us, the extreme spiritual attacks and spiritual, I should say, happenings, occult happenings that happened to both of us over a period of time to lead us to where we're at now. But the thing that's nice about it is we give a way out and we document just how we, got out of it and how we ourselves tapped into a much higher power than the principalities of the air and the spirits that rule the world. And we tapped into a much higher power. And through that power, we're able to overcome. And that's through Jesus Christ of Nazareth and using his authority over these things. And we actually document how to overcome and live a victorious life and let that word of God seep into you and get rid of the haunting, get rid of the weirdness, high strangeness. I should say. All right. Enough of that, Ms. Kapow. Enough of that. And that's why we're here today. I mean, that's what we've been doing since we've been doing, this show and the Kapow Radio Show based on what we were told to do. Scientists are baffled.
By what?
Mysterious sonic weapon attack.
Where?
In Cuba. On the U.S. Embassy.
Oh, no.
I never heard of this until the other day.
Yeah. Interesting, though. Especially, this is a very interesting article.
Yeah. And it's just like, how could you not hear of this? But I just ran across this the other day. This is kind of amazing. U.S. government considers closing its embassy in Cuba. The scientists remain baffled by the mysterious sonic weapon that was apparently used to target American diplomats in Cuba. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, this is on Fox News under the physics section.
Yeah.
Amazing. It said on Sunday, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that the U.S. is considering the closure of its embassy in the Cuban capital following a spate of unexplained incidents that have left American diplomats injured. This is pretty heavy stuff, really.
Very. Mm-hmm.
Because this is not normal, any stretch of the imagination. There's 21 medically confirmed U.S. victims. Some have a permanent hearing loss. They even have concussions.
Mm-hmm.
Others suffered nausea, headaches, ear ringing. Some of them are struggling with concentration or common word recall.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. And what could be causing this?
I don't know. Some victims felt vibrations or heard loud sounds that mysteriously were felt or heard. Because it wasn't so much that they heard it, is so much as what was going on only in certain parts of rooms. And the leading investigators considered a potential sonic attack.
That's weird. And then others, they didn't hear anything, but later on developed symptoms.
Yeah. The symptoms that are caused by something that they would hear, but what makes this a mystery is that this sonic boom, if you will, was inaudible.
Yeah, and apparently there's no weapon that could be triggered like that without a huge, speaker or, real close to the head, to get that kind of result. Mm-hmm. So the U.S. hasn't identified a culprit or a device. When they say investigators, they send a bunch of guys from the FBI there, to sweep the place, and they're coming up with nothing.
Yeah, they're exploring the possibility of sonic waves or the electromagnetic weapons or some kind of advanced spying operation that's gone cuckoo.
Yeah. And they're puzzled by it. There's been speculation that an infrasound is a low-frequency sound below the human hearing range, or ultrasound, which is above 20 kilohertz and can't be heard by humans, may have been harnessed in the attacks, but there's no way to really do that. There's no weapon to really do it in that kind of mass and that kind of distance. Mm-hmm. So what they say is ultimately devices working in either spectrum could cause hearing damage, but it's unlikely to be infrasonic given the size of the speaker required to produce the frequency at that decibel level. And also, infrasound is also very difficult or next to impossible to direct. They don't have the technology to do it. So there's no efficient way to focus infrasound to make it into a usable weapon, basically. So it's very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So I can understand why they'd want to close this embassy then, because they can't keep their people safe.
No, and only Americans. 21 of the medically confirmed have experienced something. They also say that the concussions that experienced by some of the victims, those follow a blow to the head or proximity to something like a bomb blast. So, any kind of frequency-based trauma, it would have to be very severe to cause this. Mm-hmm. Right? They say there's a history of brain injury and hearing loss that stretches back to World War I with soldiers that were next to these huge, massive weapons, artillery type of thing. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case here. These people are sitting in an embassy, in a cubicle, and getting whacked with something weird. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Strange. Maybe there is something like a sonic cannon that has been, invented and used, but, the writers of the story aren't privy to that. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But it's very mysterious. It's very weird. Just some more weird happenings.
They're being experimented on.
Yeah. Yeah. Very strange. Maybe it's just an excuse to close the embassy. Who knows? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Okay, before this next story comes up, I have to have Neil sing Love on the Rocks.
Okay.
Because this is a Love on the Rocks kind of a story. Okay, this is our romantic section. We like to take a part of our show, Freedom Friday, and do a romantic type of story. And this is it. So here we go.
Love on the rocks ain't no surprise. Just pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies.
I just love this song, Miss Kapow.
I'm glad you do.
Got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
So you just sing the blues.
You have nothing to lose. You just sing the blues
all the time.
all the time. Love on the Rocks, and that's what happened to this couple. That's what happened to this
for the love
couple.
of
It's
pizza.
Love on the Rocks.
Oh, for the love of pizza.
It's just
Sick.
Love on the Rock. This is from The Smoking Gun. This is in Louisiana. The police say a couple has recorded explicit sex acts in public at a library, a Walmart, even a
And Burger King. Ah.
Burger King. They're married, and they're facing obscenity charges after they filmed themselves in various sexual rendezvous in the public library. And then the brainiacs that they are, they uploaded the video to their Pornhub page.
Shiminy.
These two, Love on the Rocks, these two have their own Pornhub page.
Nice.
You should see the pictures of these
Oh,
guys.
I know. They're really gross. Fuchi, fuchi.
Man, they have their own porn site.
And these people are in their 30s.
Yeah, so they should know better. And so anyway, I guess, you'll do anything for likes and subscribes, I guess. I guess it probably works the same way
I
as
suppose.
all these other... A subsequent probe identified the library fornicators as Elizabeth Jernigan, 33, and her husband Rex, 35. Now, the cops went and they reviewed the couple's Pornhub page. I wonder if they got extra hazard pay for that. Because they should have.
I don't know.
That sounds like a workers' compensation claim. Doesn't it? Oh man, that's cruel and unusual punishment. The poor detectives had to look at the Pornhub page, and it contained more than 160 explicit videos.
Yuck.
And they said this couple recorded themselves engaged in sexual activity in various other businesses throughout the city of Houma, Houma,
Yeah.
Houma, and Terrebonne Parish. Their Pornhub videos show Elizabeth exposing herself and doing other stuff inside businesses in the
Yuck.
mall
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
and a local Walmart and the Burger King.
King. Disgusting.
Let's see. Then they were at the public library, and that includes similar exploits. And I'm not going to read what they were
No,
doing.
that's nasty.
There's some details there.
Wow. Fuchi.
They were charged with all kinds of stuff, and but they went back after they posted bail. They went back and they shared on the Pornhub page to all their fans, and they wrote, "To all my friends and followers, the wife and I just recently bailed out of jail for our public videos we posted on Pornhub. Hopefully soon we'll get to post a new video soon." So that's all he cares about. Mm-hmm. Not that I got arrested, I have to pay a fine, I got to go to court, I just hope I can post some more videos. And his handle is on Pornhub is SexyBeast82.
Yeah, nasty.
And his old lady's handle is Layla Divine.
And this is what's gross here. That the couple's Pornhub page has 4,187 subscribers, and its videos have been viewed more than 1.7 million times.
Wow.
Gross.
Live on the rock.
Jiminy Crickets.
Jiminy Crickets. On a spiritual level, what does that tell you? There's so much to this story. It's not just two people who are like, hey, well, they're whacked, they're crazy, they got demons.
Well, this is what he wrote, too. He says, I've always loved to be nude and show off my body since I was a teenager. And he added, I hope everyone enjoys our videos. The more attention we receive, the more we'll post.
There's your problem, too. Mm-hmm. It's this demonic, narcissistic, the whole world revolves around us.
People will be lovers of themselves.
Yeah.
And not lovers of God.
And now you got, YouTube and video and Vimeo and whatever. And people can, they want to become their own stars.
Their own reality show.
Their own reality show.
That's what it is their own reality show.
And the fact that you have a site called Pornhub and you can go and watch animals like this do stuff in Burger King, it just tells you where you're at, It's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Crazy, but it's all going to end tomorrow on the 23rd.
Yep.
That's it.
No mas.
So unless you ordered your Demons in the Marriage Bed book early, you won't be able to read it before.
Yeah, they're going fast. They're going like hotcakes.
Now, this is interesting. This cannibal story. This is in
at
Africa.
Burger King.
Burger King. This is somewhere in Africa, and I am not going to pronounce the names. So it's just in Africa.
Afaiwi.
How do you say it?
Afaiwi.
Afaiwi.
I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it.
Huh. Afaiwi Mapakula.
There you go.
Huh.
But the other one, no. Not so much.
No.
Zenbisa.
This cannibal was shot by the Popo after refusing to stop eating a woman he had already beheaded.
Nice.
That's a headline for you right there.
Yeah.
A guy shot by the police while he's eating a woman that he had already beheaded. He was accused of beheading a woman and eating her corpse. And he died in a hospital after being shot by the South African police. Oh, his name is Aphiwe Mapakula. He was 23. He was shot in the leg, the arm, the stomach. And the police caught him eating the corpse of a woman.
Gross.
And it's the latest incident involving cannibalism. There's been more.
Wow.
4 men had been charged with raping, killing, and consuming parts of a woman.
That's gross. That is sick.
Yeah. But it's... There's your wicked spirits, huh? I tell you, it's really dark. The police arrived on scene, and they found Mapakula eating the flesh of this woman. She was 35. He knew the woman, and he had already cut her head off. But I guess this woman worked for the family or something. It wasn't like they were, lovers or anything.
No friends or anything.
Yeah, she had worked for the family. The cops told the newspaper that the suspect ignored several warning shots designed to stop him, and then he charged at the Popo with a knife. And so they opened fire on him. Can you imagine that? Seeing something like that?
Wow.
Man, that's a career-ending event.
Wow.
So the dude was taken to the hospital. And then when he was taken to the hospital, then he attacked a female medic just minutes after being admitted. Wow. This guy had something against females, huh?
Yeah.
He died 3 days later. I'm sure he got the greatest medical care after he attacked.
Yeah.
After he attacked the female medic, I'm sure they really took care of this guy.
Yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah. His mother, who first raised the alarm when she saw her son attacking the lady as she tried to leave their home. Here's what she told the paper. I never raised a son like this one. I never imagined this.
Wow. That's sad.
Yeah. It just came out of nowhere, huh? Huh. No clues or anything? The gal who he was eating, he killed and beheaded and was eating, she had worked at the home doing odd jobs. and was washing in the backyard when she was attacked by this guy. So that's how they got into it. They said that he killed her with a knife by cutting her throat, and the mother had called the police on him.
Wow.
And he was just chomping away on this gal. They said
Pretty
stop.
sad for the mom.
Yeah, to see that. Now, the neighbors had described this guy. They believed drug and substance abuse was involved. What a shock. Really? The neighbors said that he was an introvert who dropped out of the university after struggling with drug addiction.
Okay.
So that tells you how did the spirits get in?
Mm-hmm.
How did the demons get in? Drugs.
Yep.
Drugs. Drugs, 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 drugs. Open your mind up to other things. Very strange. Very strange story. But it's true, and it happened, and that's what's so bizarre about it.
You know, and you just think things are going to get darker.
That's hard to imagine.
Darker and darker.
That is really hard to imagine, isn't it? Mm-hmm. All right, Ms. Kapow, that's all the positive news I have today.
All righty. Well,
All right.
those are pretty good stories.
Yeah, everybody take care. We might see you next week. Maybe we'll be back. I don't know if the world's going to end. We have no idea. But,
We'll see you in the rapture then.
yeah, see you in the rapture. Okay. All right, enough of that nonsense. Watch out for the mad pooper.
Ugh,
Stay safe.
Nasty. Ciao, babies.